Yesterday we just started about our query designer application, wherein we understood what is rows, what is columns, and what is free characters. Okay, so basically, now rows is the one, like whenever you place some object in your rows, okay, once you execute the query, it will be available in your navigational block as well as result set. But when you place some object in the free characters, once you execute the query, what happens now? Once you execute the query, what happens? It will be available in your navigational block, but not in your result set. Yeah. So yesterday we created one query. So now I want to open that particular query, suppose. So what I am doing? Yesterday I have started creating a query. Click on new query, but right now I want to open a query. So click on open query. Now we stored it under favorites. And this is the folder what I have created yesterday. And in this I have my query called, my first query for analysis, just open. So what you can see now, yesterday the query what I have designed, you can see the particular query. What is that? Left side it will display now all the objects which are available in your info provider. Left block will display now all the objects which are available in your info provider. And what do you want to analyze? That is, what are the key figures that you want? You have to drag and drop it into what? Columns. The key figure has to be placed in the columns. And on what basis you want to analyze this key figure? That is, character has to be placed in the rows. See, now I placed customer number in the rows, rest another 2 characters in your free characters. What is its impact? See, now see the output now. I'm just saving my query. And you can execute it. So you can see the output is coming in a browser. A web page is opening. Now, see now, so next, what is the next concept we are going to see? Filter. What is that now? This is what is, you understood rows, you understood free characters, you understood columns. Next option is what? Filter. Right. So filters are used. Name itself what? Name itself is what? Filter. Yes. Filters are used to what? The restrict the output of the query. So what is the use of filter is to restrict your. Now once I execute the query, what is happening? Just observe now. So initially one setting what has to be done when you log on also, just add it as a trusted site. So first time. This is only for the first time, okay? So I added you in your ID. So those who are accessing remotely, right? So first once I execute the query, just add it as a trusted site. So this is your ID what I am working. So that's, yeah. So this is the same user ID, SAP user. Excuse me. Now once I execute the query, what happens? It will show entire output. Suppose I have 1 million records. It shows you in the output how many records? All the million records. But how will be the reports? You don't want entire data to be represented in your report. Suppose you want a report of February 2011, or I want a report of first quarter, or I want a report related to sales of Bangalore or US or UK. That means you want to control your output of your report, right? So then you can use what option? Filters. Now I have 6 customers. What is happening? All the 6 customers are showing in the output. But let us say in the output I want to see only data of customer 1. Okay? Or let us say I want to see only data where material is equal to M1 or so and so particular data. That means you want to control your output. And what you can see, customer number can I see in the result set, whereas material and calendar data was in the navigational block. Because we placed it in our three characters. So what you can do, you can just drag and drop, or you can apply the drill down so that this data will be drilling down. So now it is showing entire output, but I want to restrict my, okay. So now, just like your select statement, filter is nothing but what? So normally when you do some coding, what you'll do? Select so and so particular data from your database. But here all menu driven, no need to write any coding or something. What is that we are going to do now? We are just writing we are just using what option? Filter. So we can categorize our filters into three types. Okay, you can categorize your filters into three types. Okay, first one we can call it as a database filter. What is that now? Database filter. What does that mean? While reading the data from the database itself, your output is going to be, that means suppose I'll say select C1 from the database, means what happens? From the database itself it selects only C1. That means where you are applying database filter, is it at designer level or output level? Designer level means while designing the query. Output level means once you see the output I can start applying a filter. So database filter is applied at designer level itself, that is at query designer only. That means while designing the query only I'll say only get data related to so and so particular data. So database filter applied at designer level. Okay, this you can call it as a concept called restrictions. Anything is same. Okay, you can call this database filter as a done. Next, second type of, we can call it as a report level filter. Name itself what? Report level means output level. So now, once I'm executing the query, let us say it is showing entire output. What user can do? You can just right click here, and what is that option? Office user can start at the output level. You can start right click and apply the filter. So where it is applied now? At the report level. Okay. Then the third one is called, this is also same thing. So report level drill down filter. Okay, report level drill down filter. So that means it's also same at output level only. These two. Which two? These two are applied at output level. And drill down means, here I am saying right click now. This is report level filter what I am speaking. Now, what is the other option? Filter. Now what is that now? Can you see drill down options are coming? Drop down. Right, so now I want to see only customer number values is equal to so and so particular values. Understand the logic now? So that is what is your filter. So now the first one being applied at database filter, that is the concept of restriction. The next two are applied at report level. So which is the best option? Right, so now I don't want to show entire output. How much time it takes to execute your query now? Here, okay, fine, some dummy data I have taken. I consider the real time. You have some millions of records or something. It starts. That's why while designing the query itself, we apply a condition. Suppose if I am designing a query for Bangalore manager, I will say query is restricted with address is equal to what? Region is equal to Bangalore. So in the output it will show only the particular value of Bangalore. Clear now? What is filter is? To basically control your output of your query. Now we'll discuss now what is the concept of. In that we'll see now what is restrictions. Yeah. So restrictions. That is basically I'm focusing on what? Database filter. Okay, restrictions are used. Okay, restrictions are used to control what? Output of the query. So what is the use of restrictions is now? It is used to control the output of the query. Then what? Restrictions are applied on what? So you are controlling your output based on what? Based on your character values. That is, I cannot just now show in the output only where customer is equal to C1, or material is equal to M1, or region is equal to Bangalore, or day, or month. All these are what? Characters. That means you are controlling your output based on what values here? Characters, not based on key figures. So that is a different concept again. Then restrictions are applied at design time. That's what I'm saying, right? So it's applied at the designer level. And what is the logic? Whatever the restriction we apply, it will affect all the columns. Okay, restrictions are applied. Okay, what is it now? What are the restrictions that we apply? It will affect for what? All the columns. That means all the key figures. So now observe, how do you apply a restriction is very simple. So whenever you want to apply a restriction, just go to what? Filter. So now I have two characters in my rows. Both will be shown in the result. So go to filter. What is it now? Default values. Default values of customer is equal to what? Entire customer number is showing. Defaultly now I want to show only C1 suppose. So select this customer number. Right click on this. What is the option now? Restrict. Then select your value now. What is that now I'm saying? I want my restriction to be C1. Select it. Move it to the right side and click on OK. So now we said customer number show the values of only C1. Fine. So now save it and click on execute it. Right. Now what is happening in the output now? Can you see now it's supplied only what value it is showing in the output? Only the value of C1. And what is happening? For quantity also it's showing only value of C1. For revenue also it's showing value of. Understand the logic? So it is applying for all the key figures or not? But is there anywhere quantity related to customer? Quantity is related to material. It's not related to customer. So now let us say for quantity I want to show entire values, but for revenue only value of C1. That means your restriction has to apply for a particular key figure. So that's again a separate concept will come called as restricted key figures. And moreover, where is this value I am giving? C1 value I have given at the designer itself. But how will be the requirement? I need to leave this option. I need to leave this for option for the end user. Suppose he is executing the query. Okay. Now what is that? Before showing the output, you have to get a pop-up. Let us say enter customer number or something. If user types C1, it has to show only value of C1. That means you are controlling the output at the runtime. That is after execution of query. Understand now? So that is again a separate concept called variables. Normally in ABAP you have something called select options and parameters. That what we call it as a variables. Okay? So like this. Now see, right click, restrict. I am removing C1. Now I want to see, let us say, value of C3. Move this to the right side. Okay. Now save and execute. C3. And you can see you can get some information from here. What is that? Click on this information. You know what is the information? This is the technical query of your name, query name. This is the description. And on what cube you have created this? Who is the user? When it was last changed? And you can observe, what is that now? This filter is? The filter has been applied, but what it is saying? A dynamic filter, right? So what is dynamic filter means? Now user is seeing this output. What he can do? Suppose he will right click now. This is like a report level filter. Filter, and he will say select filter value. He can change it. Yes. So now, even though you uploaded the designer level, what user can do at the output level? He can change the filter or not. Now let us say, I am designing a query, imagine for a Bangalore manager. Now I say address or region restricted with Bangalore. What he will see? He will see the data of Bangalore region, but after suppose if he right click and he say change the filter value to Chennai, he can see the data of. But now I don't want to give the access of what? Chennai data to the Bangalore manager. That means my filter should be a static. Right now your scene is a dynamic filter. My filter should be what? Yes, you have to see the output, but user should not change that particular filter. User should not control that particular filter. So then what you have to do, instead of placing your filter in the default values, you have to place it in the characteristic restrictions. So now same thing, I am just removing this restriction. What is it now? Place this customer number in the characteristic restrictions. Right click, restrict. Okay, what is the value I was selecting? Let us say C3. Move it to the same logic, but where applied now? In my characteristic restrictions. Now just observe now, save, execute. Any difference in the output? There is no difference in the output, just observe. Is there any difference in the output now? Output is same, but see the information what it says? Right now it is saying is a static filter. Now right click on this filter. What do you have? Can you see remove filter value is disabled now? When I say select filter value, just observe now what is going to happen now. Can I change it now? Earlier it was showing C1, C2 all the values, but right now only I cannot remove or I cannot change it, just only you can. That is what is your static filter. But suppose if you place it in the default values. So I remove this. Now observe what is the difference now. Output is same. Any difference in the output as of now? There is no difference in the output, but right click here, filter. If you want, you can remove filter value means again it shows entire output. But if you just select filter value, now can I do some changes here now? Understand now what is static and what is dynamic filter? So when you put it under default values, it's nothing but a static filter, dynamic filter. When you put it under cache acquisitions, it's nothing but your static filter. And in filter only, in restriction only, or some other options are there. See, observe, restrict. I am saying single values. I am moving it to C2. I said not showing the output only values of. So now, whether this C2 has to be included or excluded. Whether the C2 has to be included or. Now what are the value I am giving? It is including or excluding. If I say C2, it's in the output showing only C2. But now I want to exclude C2. What I can do? Select this C2. What is there here? Exclude from selection. Now what happens? Except C2 now it will display now. C1, C3, C4, C5. Done? Right. Next. So now this is single values. Now I want to give range. Greater than or equal to C3 or from C1 to C3. Then what you can do, instead of single values you can select. What is that now? Value ranges. Okay, value ranges what? I want it is greater than or equal to or greater than what value you want? Greater than, let us say C3. Move it to the right side. Okay, like this. So you can apply now. And if you want, you can save it as your favorite. Okay? Save as a something. Okay? That has been saved. Next time you can go to favorites. What is it now? Your one value that is saved. So you can just drag it to like that. So you can some values it has to be repeated always. So you can just save it as a favorite, then you can move it to the right side. Clear now what is restrictions concept? This is now the DB filter, database filter. Now suppose I said simply just observe that you are already understood. Report level filter is like this now. You are seeing entire output. What user can do, right click, filter, select filter value. I am right clicking on customer means you are applying a filter on customer number. If you right click on material means so when you say now, what about the performance of query while filtering the values within the query? Within the query means? What does that mean? You are speaking about database or output level. To improve the performance, you have to use DB filter. That's what I am saying, right? So to improve the query runtime means after execution of your query. Yeah? That's what I am saying, right? There is a concept of variables. So you come to a variable where you can execute the query, but before showing the output it will give you a pop-up. But the requirement is like that, right? So if you think about like performance wise, but okay fine, but the thing is what? I need to leave the option for the end user to control it at the runtime. That is what is the feasible solution, right? He may go and check with the different alternatives. If you put it one thing, what happens now? Okay? Clear? Right. Now. So now this is report level filter now where at the output level. I am going to add it, C2, or you want value ranges, you can put a value ranges. So now what is going to happen now? It's showing now only values of, but usually they don't use this particular option. And one more is what? Here also you have a filter. So now I want to see the values of customer. Okay, let us say C2 and C3. Add it to the right side. This is report level drill down filter. Understand now? So if you want, you can clear it. Okay? Right. Now in the output only I am going to show you now different options you have. Now what is that? You can see display as what? A table, but I want to see it as a graph. Now this kind of report, if you want to develop in your R3 side, how much of code you have to do? Lots and lots of coding has to be done. Okay, right? So you can see now your output is displayed as a graph. You want to do some settings? Click on some settings. And just click on settings. You can change the graph by clicking on settings. And as I said, this is a default web page it is coming. You don't want this default web page, you can design your own web page using WAD, Web Application Designer. But same output you want to see it in Excel sheet, then you can use Analyzer. Yes, meanwhile it's taking some time. Meanwhile, any doubts regarding filter? Bhuwani, Subhi, Venugopal, Gokul, Venkat and Vinay. Everyone is clear? How about Vinay? Fine. So now you explored what are all the options that are in your designer. What is that now? One is rows, 3 characters, columns and filter. These are the basic options that you can see. Now in the output level still what is happening? It's taking a lot of time. I think it is stuck or something. Still let it execute, still it's executing. In the output level now, see now what is the display as your graph. So output will be displayed as a graph. Then click on settings. You can change your graph type. So it's graphic. So what type of graph you want now? Let us say I want it as a line graph. Excuse me. Now you can see this is value now. C1 M2 values 1200 like this. You can see now the values of the line graph. Depend upon what type of graph you want, you can apply it. Then you want to see, let us say, both table as well as a graph. So above it will show as a table and below it shows as a graph. And if you want, you can export this data into a Excel sheet. So now it will be now on your desktop now. Okay, now you can see now the output is coming in the form of a Excel sheet. Okay, fine. And let us say I need to send this particular report, I need to broadcast it to my user. So this web page I need to broadcast it. What is that option you can see? Send. So when you say send, you can send it to a email ID. Actually some problem is there are broadcasting. I don't know whether it comes or not. So sending is like broadcasting. So the designer itself you want to broadcast means yesterday I shown you to publish it to the portal, or I can take the assistance of the broadcaster. Okay, so now some problem is there with this particular setting. So or you can right click. What is that now? Broadcast and so what is saying? Broadcast to email, broadcast to portal, that is like where to send. So when I say broadcast to portal or somewhere, what is going to happen now? Assistance will come, a broadcaster, right? So you will get a, what is that you call, a window which will assist you, wizard. A wizard will come. So first now, right now I specified where to send. Then it will ask how to send. Output format it will ask. Whether it should be a URL or it should be a PDF or it should be a right Excel. That is how to send. Then it will ask you for when to send. Under when to send, basically you get two options. One is like related to time, whether you want to send it as every 1 hour or 1 day, or one more is right updation of data to your database. That means as soon as your cube gets populated with data, it will immediately broadcast it. Okay, so like this. So you can use now different options now at the reporting level itself. Okay, done. Now we'll move on to the next concept now. So what is the next concept we are going to look at is, so restrictions is done. So then we'll go on to the next concept called conditions. Now what is conditions is like conditions are used to what? Same thing, to control the output of the query only. What is the use of condition is to control your output of query. But what is that? So conditions are applied on what? So I said restrictions. They are applied on characters. Now you want to control your output based on the key figure value. And I want to see now in the output where revenue is greater than 1 lakh. Or I want to see in the output where one is revenue is greater than 1 lakh, or let us say quantity is less than 1000. That is based on, or you want to see what are the top 3 highest revenue. You can apply a condition to control your output of your query based on your key figure values. Okay? And suppose you have more than one condition. So let us say one condition is revenue is greater than 1 lakh, other condition is quantity is less than 1000. Now, what output it has to show now when you have more than one condition? If both are satisfied, then only it has to show the output that is like a AND condition. That means 1 and 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. That means if anyone is failed, it should not show any output. Or if anyone is satisfied, it has to show the output that is R condition. So when you have more than one condition, you have to specify whether you want AND or R condition. So how do you specify? See, right? So whenever we specify, I said 2, it may be 3, it may be 4, anything. So whenever we specify two conditions under the same name, it acts as what? Under the same name means it acts as OR condition. So when you specify now two conditions under a same name, it will be acting as OR condition. And what is that now? So whenever we specify two conditions under what? Different names, it acts as AND condition. Suppose, what is that now? Let us say I have two conditions. One is condition A, other one is condition B. But I am specifying under the same name. Name is condition 1, under that AB. That's nothing but R. But suppose name is condition 1 under that A condition, name is condition 2 under that B condition, that's nothing but AND. So when you specify two conditions under the same name, it acts as R condition. When you specify two conditions under the different names, it acts as AND condition. Okay, now see now how do you apply conditions is very simple again. So let us say first I am seeing my output of my query. Now based on this output we will start applying the conditions. Now I want to see in the output, let us say where revenue is equal to 3600. Okay, now how do you apply condition is very simple. What is that icon you can see here? So click on these conditions. Can you see one more tab is coming along with filter, rows and columns. A new tab has come called conditions. Right click on this window. What is that option now? New condition. What is coming here? Condition number 1. Now just double click on this. Can you see now what is it now? Name is what? Condition 1. If you want you can change it. Then you can start creating a new. Then on which key figure you want to apply a condition. Can you see price here? So right, whatever I placed in the columns, only that option I can see now. I am saying I want to apply it on revenue. What is the operator now? See, equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, between, top and bottom end. As I said, so now I said revenue. A simple condition I am applying equal to, what is the value now? Transfer. That's it. So now I applied one condition now. The revenue is equal to what? 3600. I am saving it and executing it. What is going to happen now? It is showing in the output only where revenue is equal to what? Let's suppose you have some other option here. See what is that now? Condition 1. Condition is, suppose if I remove it, even though you have condition now, it will not work. Understand the logic now? See? Suppose select it. Suppose I want to change it. So if you want to change the condition, same thing. Double click on this condition now. You want to change, suppose it is not equal to. So just select this condition. What is there here? Revenue not equal to what? 3,600 transfer. Let us change it now. Save it and execute it. So it's showing only except that particular value. So like this, sir. So you can apply some conditions. So now select, delete it. Then you can start applying it again. What is that now? Again I am saying revenue. So let us say I am saying now, what is that? Top n. So when you say top n, you have to give the n value. Let us say I am saying top n is, that is top 3 I am saying now. Now what is going to happen now? That means in output it will show now the highest 3. That's the main. See now? And that too is showing in the descending order. This is top 1, this is top 2. If you say top n means, I said 3 now, it will show 3 records. If you say 2 means, it will show 2 records. If you say 1 means, 1 record. Okay? So like this, you can see top 10, top 5 or bottom 5. Okay, now suppose you want to delete this condition, nothing, what you can do, simple, just drag and drop, or you can right click and anything is one on the same. Now suppose I am again starting creating one new condition. You want to change it number, you can change it. Okay, let us say name is condition 1. I am saying new. What is that one condition I am saying? Revenue equal to, all different options are there, not equal to, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, between, not between, top and bottom end. Okay, revenue equal to 3,600 is one condition I am showing. And again I am creating new, click on new. What I am saying now? Quantity equal to 9. Suppose you want to delete it, the second one, select. So now 2 conditions under the same name. Name is condition 1, and this how many conditions are specified now? That means what is going to happen now? If anyone is satisfied, it will be showing the, now just check now what is it. Just click on OK. So save your query now, then you can execute it. So this is also satisfied. This is also satisfied. So it is showing now. That's what, right? This is now acting as what type of condition now? OR condition. Now suppose same thing. This is my condition 1. I am trying to delete this second condition here. Okay. Then again I am going to create now new condition. Let us say this we are naming it as second condition. And click on new. What is the condition now? Condition is quantity equal to what? Any change in the condition? Condition is same, but it is under a different name. Now what is that? Now what is that now? See? Can you see the symbol now? What is that? That is nothing but your AND. See the symbol? The symbol itself indicates. Just checking now. Is there any record which satisfies both, where revenue should be 3,600 as well as quantity should be 9? Is there any record which satisfying both the things? No record. That's why it's just showing you only overall data. Understand the logic now? Suppose if I change my second condition and if I say let us say 12. So for revenue is equal to 3,600, the quantity was Now just check now. Now is there any record which satisfies both the condition? Yes, there is one record which satisfies both the condition, and what you can see in the output now. One is quantity equal to 12 and revenue equal to. Understand the logic now? Right? So it is satisfying both the conditions. Now it is showing that is what is AND condition. Or and so right. So clear what is the concept of conditions now? Wherein you can control your output based on your key figure values. Yes. Any doubts regarding this particular concept? Conditions is clear? So that next will come where I can suppress my overall result. So overall result is by default is shown. You don't want to show your overall result. Suppose we'll come to the next properties. Overall result suppress. Now just check is there any overall result that I can hide it. Vinay, is it clear? That overall result hiding you come next. Okay? Because default it is set to show the result. That's why it is coming to it is showing you some result after that. Vinay. Yeah, Vinay. Is it okay? Yeah, fine. Clear now? So conditions concept is clear. So then we'll move on to next concept called exceptions. What is that now? So exceptions are used to provide alerts on the reports. So exceptions are used for what purpose? To provide alerts on your reports. So whenever you want to throw some alerts in your report, you go with a concept called what? Exceptions. Okay, so what is that now? Suppose if revenue falls less than this category, in the output it has to show some red color. Now what is the flexibility for the user? Based on the alert you specified, he can directly concentrate on that particular area. You can take some decision immediately based on that. So like that. So whenever you want to throw some alert on your report, you can use which concept now? Exceptions. Basically you can throw three kind of alerts. One is good. One is good means green color. Okay, then next is bad. Bad means red color. Other one is yellow color. That is critical. Good, yellow and bad. So totally now three types of exceptions I can apply. One is okay, exceptions are used for what purpose now? To providing alerts on the report. So as I said, I can basically provide three kinds. One is good, yellow and bad. So and again each exception you have again three types: dark, medium, light. Light yellow, dark yellow, medium yellow. Light green, dark green, and so totally 9 kind of exceptions we can provide. Okay, so like that. But if you use exceptions, what happens? Using exceptions, what happens? It degrades your query performance. Okay, using exceptions degrades what? Query performance. Okay, now, so how to apply exception? Observe now. Suppose this is your data now. Let us just save and execute it. Okay, on this now I want to start applying a exception now. So whenever you want to apply exception, so again there is one icon here. What is that now? Exceptions. Click on this exceptions now. One more new tab is coming. What is that now? Exceptions. So this is conditions. This is exceptions. So right click on this window and you have to click on new exception. What is that you can see here? Exception number 1. So just double click on this. Name is what? Exception 1. So first you can go to definition. In the definition you have to specify on which key figure you want to apply the let us say I want to apply exception on revenue or quantity. See now, if you say all means it considers all the key figures which you have placed in your columns. But I say I want to apply it on revenue, where in this here what you have to specify? Exception affects everything means all the cell values, or it has to consider only results. Results means that yellow color lines you can see. So that means whatever exception you apply it will affect only for the results. But right now I want it for everything. Then go to the general tab. Then you can start applying exception. Let us say I am saying a new exception now. What is that new? See, I said 3 things. Good 1, 2, 3. Critical 1, 2, 3. Then bad 1, 2, 3. Now I said it is dark red. Bad 3 is like a. If what? Operator is equal to. That is operator means what? Which operator is that now? Revenue. Equal to. What is the lowest value we have in this? 800. Okay, I am saying now, if operator is equal to 800. So now just check now. Save and execute it. What is happening in that particular values? It's shown as a red color. Right? Then, suppose you want to change it again. Double click on this. Again I am saying new. I am saying it is bad 1. If operator is between 800 to, what is the next least value? I say, let us say 2000. So like this, you can provide now n number of alerts now. This is light color red. So that is bad. Suppose you want critical. If the operator is critical, if it is between what? 2000 to 5000. Then I am saying it is good 3. If operator is, let us say, greater than 5000. So like this, you can go on throwing the some alerts onto your reports. That's nothing but what? Exceptions. This is critical up to 5,000. Greater than 5,000 is shown as good. So like this. So now we can apply some exceptions, some alerts on your reports using the concept of exceptions. Now this is where I have applied now is at the designer relay. So now you can see in output level also you can see some settings. What is that now? Right now you have a exception it has applied. If you want you can switch off that exception by clicking on toggle state. Again you can see. Okay, like that. So you can apply some. So here also you can switch off or switch on. That is exception. And we have one more thing is what? See conditions. I can start creating the conditions from here also. So I can add it. Okay, I want example now this kind of condition. Next. What is the condition you want? Revenue equal to greater than less than or equal to, so I said revenue is equal to 800. If you want you can add your rows. Okay, next, and you can finally finish it. Okay, revenue is equal to what is it now? It's showing us C6. These are all because only result it is showing. Only where it is value that is also showing. Okay. So like this, if you want you can delete the condition from here. But try to delete it. So like this in output level also you can apply some exceptions as well as conditions. You know what is concept of conditions and exceptions? Now today you have seen filter. Okay. Restrict, that is filters is nothing but entire restriction all concept. Then conditions and exceptions. Okay, tomorrow I'll start with properties. Yes, exceptions mainly use it for coloring purpose, alerts purpose. Okay, tomorrow we'll start with properties. Then after this, we'll go with something called calculated and restricted key figures. Huh? Next after this we'll go. See, that is basically now, what is that? It's not only for coloring, you can use it at the broadcasting level also. If revenue falls greater than this, less than this category, I am saying, okay, what is that now? Red color. So when this red color comes, immediately this query has to be broadcast. That also can be done. Yeah, it will be through portal. It's purely based on roles and authorizations. Next, and I go with a concept called variables. You can understand this particular part. So this what you are seeing here, this thing, what you are saying, users will be exploring through portal, fine. But what about the roles and all? It will discuss you when I go with the next concept called variables. It's based on the access that is given to the user, only that output only can access it. That is authorization given to the user. Suppose now I am designing a query. Let us say this query is restricted with reason. I am not giving any value. Let us say this query is executed by suppose 3 users. One is Bangalore user, Hyderabad user and Chennai manager. So when Bangalore user logins, when I execute a query, it will ask you for user ID. I logged on with user SAP user like that. Suppose if Bangalore user is logging in, let us say his user ID is user 1. If we say user 1 and you log on, you have for in the output has to show only values of Bangalore. Same report, but if I log on with user 2, it has to show only data related to what? Hyderabad. Because user 2 is the Hyderabad manager. That means with with the user ID what you are controlling, the output is going to be controlled. That means while creating the user ID, what basis consultant will do, you will add some access to that particular user ID. That is what we call roles. Okay? Yeah, everyone is clear? Scheduled. Scheduled. Yeah, that is what broadcasting, right? That's what I said, right? Publishing means what? Broadcasting. That is what is scheduling. Yes. Any other doubts now? Vinay? Venkat? Gokul? Okay, fine. So we'll stop it here today. So tomorrow we'll start with this reporting part. Okay? Right.